out of here like always. Together.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. It just hurts. Actually, everything hurts.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Wes Grant. You're watching Sub Urban Nerd. This channel where I give my nerd views on today's nerd news. I also do movie reviews, and if you guys haven't seen any of my reviews, it's pretty much I tell you what the story's about. I give you my likes, my dislikes, then I give a grade of it at the end. And today's movie we're going to be reviewing is The Old Guard on Netflix. Yes, The Old Guard on Netflix. If you guys don't know about this this series or whatever, I didn't either. It's a movie that's on Netflix based on a comic book written by Greg Rucka and illustrated by Leandro Fernandez or something. I believe that's the right name. And it was directed by Gina Prince, right? And the story of this is pretty much, it's some immortal mercenaries or people that are immortal. They become mercenaries led by Charlize Theron's character Andy, or Andromacheithia, or I believe it's Andromacheithia is a full name, which is a mouthful anyways. And she has lived for like hundreds, if not maybe thousands of years, and she leads these people in wars and as far as like any type of job where they feel that it's in their best interest to help. Or basically, if you've ever seen Wolverine's origin, it's what that is. When Wolverine would always join the battle and help the team that he thought was right, that's pretty much what they did throughout the whole throughout the decades or whatever of them living. And this movie starts off and she's very jaded. They get ambushed by Copley, who's played by Chiwetel Ejiofor, and he's like a doctor, scientist, and he's working for this company, and they want to find out the whole idea because they're trying to get rid of dementia and like basically figure out the whole miracle of why these people are living so long and why they're immortal, and trying to, I guess, figure out how to, sell it to people. And this story is really good. It has a lot of good action moments. It brings in also a new immortal. Her name is Neil Freeman. A really black last name. I'm sorry, but it is. But anyway, so she comes in. She doesn't know what's going on with her body. Andy, played by Charlize Theron, finds her, brings her into the whole fold. Then they try and figure out how or why the people, backstab them, and trying to find out because they can't let the world know that there's immortals around, so they're trying to pretty much clean up house. Now, the fight choreography is killer in this movie. Charlize Theron, she kills it all the time. I believe she was Atomic Blonde, and she knows how to handle herself. So the choreography was on point. I like the story, the main characters. If you ever seen Ghost in a Shell with Major, Bato, and all of them, it's sort of like that as far as their camaraderie and the way they work together. They work together so well. Like Major is pretty much Andy. Bato is the main character Booker. Joe and Nikki, who is sort of like Saito and Ishikawa kind of together. Saito's badassery as far as sniper and all that stuff, but Ishikawa as far as like empathy, because they're a couple, these two guys that have been together for decades, like, and you really feel their relationship. Like when they're on, they're like the best part of the screen. When the dialogue of them talking, even though it may seem mushy, but their personality and the humor in which they go back and forth, I really liked it. It was very refreshing in this movie. And this movie, if you watched it, you would think of the trailers, maybe it's sort of like all these other action B movies, whatever. And it sort of starts off like that, but it really isn't. The whole aspect of these immortals fighting, based off the comic book, which it's a lot more darker. They try to go for like the Looney Tunes, but dark. How everyone could get blown up, fall off a cliff and all that, but they keep getting back up. And that's what this is with these characters. Like in the beginning scene, you see them, they get shot to pieces, and then it flashbacks to to how it happened. Then when you see them get to catch up, they get up and start whipping ass. And I like the way they fight choreography. Like Charlize Theron's character and Andy, she has learned and molded all these martial arts together throughout these years or centuries to have this unique style of fighting, Krav Maga, all these different things. Plus she fights with an axe. The other two, Joe and Andy, fight with swords from their age, and it's very unique seeing mercenaries fight with not only guns and combat, but also with these medieval swords and axes. and to mix up the way. And when they're coming in when they're fighting a group of people, when they're going in and just taking out people, it's like how you say, some beautiful dance choreography or ballet of the way they take out all these bad guys. Now, I'm gonna tell you that most of that is the good part. The bad parts, I can say, is the main bad guy, this geeky guy. You don't really, you don't like him, but there's not much to him. It's just like pretty much trolling. I'm just trying to make money. People's lives don't matter. If they gotta be test subjects or, like, you know, rats, lab rats, so be it. They're not human to me. And it's like, I get you. I don't like them, but you could have put a little bit more depth into it. Chiwetel Ejiofor's character, Copley, he definitely had more backstory. Once you found out why he kind of turned on them, and like you find out later, you know, what's the purpose of all the things he's done, you sort of feel empathy for him, and then you kind of like him by the end. But the CG, like when these people are how you say, healing, sort of like with Wolverine, the CG isn't all that. But what do you expect? It's a movie on, you know, Netflix, but it's okay. You don't take much notice of it. You just enjoy the movie. It's okay. The CG where the bullets come out and the cuts heal, yes, you know, it's what it is. You shouldn't expect like the best thing in the world. The rendering of the environment, it's sort of dull. Like the comic books is very vibrant, all these colors, all these different environments are very colorful. But this movie, the only time it's sort of like, I guess, vibrant is when they're in the desert, when it's very bright. Other than that, it's really dark and dull lighting and all that stuff. But it's very still entertaining as far as the action goes. And one other thing that might be a pet peeve is they don't really explain why or how. They just say, when it's your time, it's your time. There's no explanation of how people become. It's not like, you know, what X-Men or them, how they talk about evolution or all that. It's just like, hey, one day you don't die, now you're an immortal. It doesn't happen that much. The last time it happened was 200 years ago, but so be it, you're one of us now. And Niall gives a really good, compassionate reason of why she doesn't want to join. Like, she's like, I have a family. You know, there's people that care about me. Like, I can just say that, you know, like, well, it's hard to explain because you know that once something like that happens, the person's gonna become a lab rat. Regardless if it was like the bad twirling guy. If she gets back to America, they're gonna wonder and run tests on why she isn't dying or why this. And once they find out, your life is pretty much over. I don't know if they'll let her see her family or whatever, but you're gonna be a commodity to the American military. And once you sign a paper, you are military property. So they're gonna do what they're gonna do. You know, I don't know. I'm not in the military, but I think that's pretty much how it's gonna be. Other than that, I thought it was a very entertaining movie. I thought it was very fun. Charlize Theron kicked ass. All the characters kicked ass. I pretty much liked all the characters. It reminded me so much of Ghost in the Shell and how their camaraderie, how they work together so well. And it's definitely worth a see. If I had to give this movie a grade, I'm gonna give this movie a solid B. This movie was very good as far as action. I cared about the characters, especially Nikki and Joe. They were light to this whole thing. I just enjoyed every time seeing them and then back and forth. And the idea of these immortals fighting gonna have, like, I have a book and I have something sort of like this, but it's different. So it's not like I'm gonna copy this. Like, there's been immortals all through stories, but I definitely like the gist. It's different enough that I would love to see a sequel of this on Netflix. And Netflix, they do sequels sometimes, so I'm looking forward to seeing it. Hopefully it comes out sooner than later with this whole corona thing, and check it out. So thank you for watching Suburban Nerd. I'm Wes Grant. You've just been nerdified, and catch you guys on the next review. See ya.